Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CCS Season 5. I'm back with Quantic, his first time ever on the CCS broadcast. Number 2, Michigan State takes on number 9, Iowa State. Iowa State coming off last season's first round stunner. They're upset by a 15 seed in round 1, Quantic, and they dropped to Texas. And Michigan State, a brand new roster here. Yes, they're trying to make their mark. They dropped to Drexel last night in game 4. We get a high game action on our hands tonight.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. Long time coming, and it's a banger that we'll be seeing underway on the pitch shortly. It's a little bit of jostling between these teams as they're looking for position with the season started, trying to, find their footing and where they belong. So rankings may change, but for the time being, it is number 2 versus number 9, and I think we're expecting nothing but fireworks out here right now, Nation.
I would agree. I think after watching Michigan State compete last night with Drexel, I know Iowa State what they're capable of. I think it could be close, but Michigan State on paper is projected to win. Again, Iowa State's a heck of a roster. Spanish is beast. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's close.
Yeah, no, it's that's all we can really hope for. Our throne here in the caster booth, have it be close. Let's go to 5. Let's have some fun. Let's throw a couple overtimes in there. Throw a party while we're at it. So Michigan State and Iowa State, I'm very much looking forward to what each of these rosters has to put on display. There's a lot of growing to be done this season, and it starts here with maybe an expected win for one side, and maybe not like a monumental upset, but a statement win. Certainly, if Iowa was able to put that on their resume.
For Quan's sake, the players are ready. Let's get out on the field for game number 1. Michigan State takes on Iowa State in a 2 versus 9 matchup. This is a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's getting ready for kickoff here in game number 1. There's been plenty of ceremony regarding this matchup, and we will actually be able to see it underway here officially. In the green, obviously going to be Michigan State. In the red will be Iowa State. And after the initial kickoff, it's Iowa State with the initial pressure. There's a shot that we'll force out a save there, and this one going to flutter into the corner for Michigan State. It'll be demoed for his efforts, but does do his job in getting the clear out, although not that far. Vanish demo looking to get a shot on. Michigan State on their heels early, but a couple saves and they're on their way out.
Spartan defense will hold off for now, Quantic, and Iowa State, they had a heck of a season in Season 4 in the fall, and unfortunately for them, we're upset in that first round of the championship, so they've got a chip on their shoulder. This could be a high-quality win for the Cyclones if they can pull this one through. Michigan State is no slouch here in CCS. This is going to be a very close game, I hope, and Iowa State's got a long night ahead of them here with Michigan State, as this is a high, really good, rated team in the country, even across CRL, so I think Michigan State, obviously the projected winner, but Iowa State can compete, so this is a fun one. 1 minute down, both teams still tied at 0.
Midas, good touch there. Just completely halts that offensive from Michigan State. They have to go back and regroup in their own half, and here they are in the corner yet again. Full boost grabbed by their teammate in Crazy, and this one into the midfield for Vanish. Double tap! Bang! That's an opener and a half to start things off here.
Vanish going to connect off a double, just 1 minute and 24 seconds into this when the camera finally able to show Advantage. Beautiful angle. It is a 1-0 Cyclone lead after the first minute and a half.
And maybe not the way the bettors would have put their money for the opening goal, but you said yourself, Iowa State can compete, and it maybe not on paper expected to get there, but they're showing right now that they belong. A couple more shots will volley off that back wall, and sinking in here now will be Michigan State off the ceiling. This one really awkward for Crazy on 0 boost, but the in and out save will reign supreme, and they will maintain that 1-goal lead.
And it's off the clock here in game 1, and Quantic, Michigan State, it's kind of interesting to look and watch. Their defense has been very efficient, even last night against Drexel. Now, Iowa State has pressed the boards early, which is a great sign for the Cyclone offense. Has vanished 1-on-1 now with Crazy and knock on the goal line, but another save will hold off well for the Cyclone defense.
Knock a little bit of mind games there. Won't be able to actually connect with the back of the twine and get that goal, but it will put Iowa State on their heels the next time Knock is staring at the net. Here they are again off the sidewall. Can't collect that flip reset, so their teammates will have to collect on the back end. That's a good challenge there by Ob. Chased over by Morvan. Vanish. The 50 deadlocked on that sidewall. And Michigan State able to get possession. Here's Knock again. Infield pass. It was more of a 50 and just not expecting it was Michigan State. So this one filtered back to their corner and maybe a coast-to-coast play before Vanish gets in the way and says, not in my house.
2-minute warning. In the game on the Spartans, still trail one up on over the first pass is broken up. Vanish left alone will find the save, and up on right back to that challenge as well. And in 106 to go, Kwanzaa, what are you seeing down the stretch here? Michigan State needs to change.
I mean, they haven't been able to be efficient on their offensive chances. They've gotten long-range shots once they enter into the Iowa State half, but not more than that. There's no rebound. There's no high-quality opportunity that forces a great save out like this right here from Vanish. The one-man show picks up that full boost in the corner, beats two with a single challenge, and then muscles his way through Knock. Iowa State, a crucial insurance goal as this clock continues to tick down lower and lower.
Vanish is on a mission. 2-0 goes to Cyclones lead. Now Michigan State will trail by multiple goals now here. So, Quantic and fire chopper Knock is good. There's finally a response to Spartan offense.
It's much needed, especially with where the pace of play was going. A lot of momentum in Iowa State's corner. So that goal by Michigan State cuts the lead in half and gives them hope, gives them life in this game. Much more so than they would have had otherwise. A little bit awkward here off the kickoff, but it is Michigan State with an opportunity. Here's more coming down, bearing down, and just like that, it's a full swing, 2 unanswered goals by Michigan in order to tie things up.
Morbo going to find a second for the Spartan offense. 111 once across the clock on the Angel numbers, and it's 2-all. Tied up game with tied clock on ones, and what a start to game number 1.
This is what we expected here. It took a while to end up at the scoreline, 4 minutes, but this is the tightness that we were hoping for, as this ball going to tease us ever so slightly on that Iowa State goal line. And Michigan State have all suddenly found their gear. They're firing on all cylinders right now. Opbomb cutting this one up, but Midas able to go off the ceiling. Maybe a double, gonna leave it for Crazy, but they cheat too far. The third man too deep. Vanish able to get there, but only for the first man. Michigan State with the third on the board now.
Spartan 3-0 run opens the scoring. Now a lead for Michigan State. Vanish about a half second away from he's saved there in the goal line. The Iowa State Cyclones a 2-0 once lead, now trail by 1 with 30 to play.
Oh man, and it's their game to lose. Is such a massive momentum swing in their favor. 3 unanswered, and Iowa State, they look good to start. They haven't since the halfway mark. Maybe Crazy could be the catalyst. That's a good shot. Oh, the placement was almost perfect. The diving attempt by Midas denied as well. Iowa State still trying. Another one turned aside by Knock, and despite their best efforts, it has to be a 0-second heroic mark. They won't get there, so a late rally by Michigan State secures them game number 1.
Iowa State a breakdown on the goal line on about 10 seconds to go, and Michigan State after a 3-0 run after a very slow start. Quantic get it done game 1.
And it's maybe it's the warm-up, maybe it's, you know, finding their groove, but Michigan State look here and ready to play. After about 2.5 minutes into that game, you could see something clicked. Their speed picked up, how efficiently they were on the ball, and what they were looking to capitalize on when it comes to their offensive pressures. Before I was rudely interrupted by Vanish on that brilliant goal he had in the corner, what I want to highlight was Michigan State's inefficiency in their plays offensively. once they were able to actually execute and not just get lofted balls towards the net, things shifted drastically in their favor. So now, ball in Iowa State's half of the court. What do they do to address things with that intermission in their pocket? What adaptations are made so that they don't slip late into game number 2 like they did in our opener?
I think Iowa State had a good read in first couple of moments of that last game, and then Michigan State, once they adjusted, Iowa State just couldn't match, and you saw a 3-0 run open back up for the Spartans. But now game 2 is a new slate at 0-0. We'll see what the Iowa State offense can do here, but they need to make the adjustments properly before an 0-2 deficit is faced. The Cyclone team that needs to win 3 in a row.
Bomb in charge of jamming this one forward, and Vanish will raise him his clear and show him his air dribble all the way coast to coast. Actually able to connect there to send it across the field and flip the pitch right now. Chasing down on the sidewall is Michigan State, and that's a good ball in field. Vanish, that's the only touch that they have, but it's right out to the opposition. Tic-tac-toe. It was a knock finding Bomb, but couldn't get the shot on. But you see that creativity. That's something, that type of play we didn't see once in the air dribble bump. They won't get the credit for it, but knock all the work for the highlight reel play.
Vanish just gets taken out crazy. Couldn't get to the challenge in time. 1 minute down. The Spartans still back on their run. It's 4-9 unanswered. The Michigan State Spartans.
How does Iowa State answer this? How do they meet the call? That's not going to help with Midas missing a challenge, and a good 50 by on the angle by Knock. Forces a fantastic reactionary save out of crazy, but they can't leave their half. There's no boost. A demo isn't going to help things either. Knock, infield pass over the top of Bomb. He's leaving it for Morv, who goes for the double tap. It's actually a pass instead over Bomb, taking the possession touch as opposed to the shot there. That's a more safe and calculated play. But finally, Iowa State will break out of their half for what feels like the first time in our opening 90 seconds here, Nation.
3:20 go here in Iowa State Challenge. Can't. 1 in 4 in a row by Michigan State. The offense needs to come alive soon. Vanish trying to be a little bit crazy in front of the Michigan State net. There's a fast clear for Bomb and a missed possession there. Almost. This is dangerous. That's a 4th. Morvo is 2nd in the game. It's 5 in a row for Michigan State.
It ricocheted off of a couple cars, but Crazy's gonna wish they had the initial touch back. Just completely died. There was no momentum coming off of their hood, which meant Michigan State could take over. They tried to redeem themselves, but only pushed that ball closer towards their net. And this may be insult to injury. Bomb looking for a third off the kickoff, looking to double dip. Put that bitten chip back in the bowl. They won't pay off here, but Iowa State still searching for answers. They looked so good in the first half of game number 1, but that we have not seen that same team, and maybe it's not so Iowa State falling short. It's Michigan State instead finding their ground and playing like the roster that we expect them to be.
Right, I 100% agree. After last night too, Michigan State after the loss able to adjust going into their second game of the week here, trying to get back to 500. Record that 1-1, they win tonight. Maybe a chance there will go through for Vanish. He's got 3 on the night, the only score for the Iowa State offense.
And they're going to need more of that. This run by Michigan State finally ends at 5 unanswered goals, and we're oddly enough in a very identical situation to game number 1, just flip-flop this time around. It's Iowa State with a late goal in order to give themselves a distant shot at this game, cutting the lead in half and opening the door for them to look in and see what needs to be done. Midas has 0 boost, just has to play that to himself in the corner and hope to get some help from Vanish on to Knock. This dangerous in front though, Crazy into the opposite corner, but they've gotten both full boosts in the corners taken away from them. Bomb redirect off the sidewall. Instead, it's off the corner. Midas will get it clear, and Knock has to address this ball on their defensive half.
Vanish again able to tie the game. It makes it 4 for Iowa State on the night, and all 4 have belonged to Vanish. And feel like Crazy and Midas need to get started. It can't be just Vanish scoring everything for Iowa State.
No, they're doing their part defensively for what it's worth, but at a certain point, Michigan State's going to key in on Vanish, or Vanish might just lose steam. It is a heroic effort from them thus far, but being able to maintain that for at most 5 games of Rocket League is a tall task. So looking for some help here, and maybe this Iowa State team will be able to pick up a head of steam and start towing the line outside of just Vanish's 4 goals. But that's a good pass from Crazy looking over, and you see the two of them, they are looking to get involved. That was Crazy over to Midas. Vanish was not involved in that play, so I do like to see that out of this roster.
Just gonna be wide. Vanish again comes up huge for Iowa State. 1 minute to play. We are still tied. Quantic now Crazy left at a one-on-one. Back to Midas. Michigan State still kind of hanging in the middle here in game 2. And again, a win would put them on triple match point. Iowa State, this must be a win here for the Cyclones.
Yeah, it's very crucial, and almost gonna be able to bury that was Crazy. Crazy just hard off the sidewalk, getting as much power as they can. Up bomb, goal line save, and now having to retreat is Iowa State. It's not a good position for them to be in. Both these teams, I think, would be happy with the reset in overtime, but we're in golden goal territory. A goal now could spell doom for either roster. Vanish off the sidewall, but knocks there first. It's on! It's off the post and back out. Midas into the corner, gets Demon Force efforts up bomb towards the end, and Midas just gonna push it as far away from that red net as possible. This ball still up. Morv gonna actually opt to keep it alive and connect over with Up Bomb. Over to Morv. It's off the back wall. Cannot put it in. It's just wide left, and we'll have overtime in game number 2.
Iowa State have one more chance after saving a couple opportunities. Maybe something here. Demos galore as they trade from Morvo and Crazy to keep Iowa State off the scoring sheets again for a third time. But again, Vanish is the lone scorer for Iowa State. Midas or Crazy, someone has to help Vanish out if they're going to have a chance to take down Michigan State here.
Vanish, we know how dangerous he's been. Looking to make their mark again. Take the stamp and seal this game number 2 in OT. Crazy helping out the defense there. Just gonna buy some time and space, allow his teammates to find some boost on this pitch. That's a massive whiff, and more have helped along by that bump. It maybe wasn't the exact trajectory they were looking for, but this one now dangerous. Knock off the back wall. Forces 2. Each of them with 0 boost. They're going to lose this corner boost. Up bomb off the sidewall. Crazy. A backflip clear will be, of all touches, the one to find them the most space, but Iowa State in dire straits right now.
1 minute so far on the clock. More move for the winners. Good. 2-0 goes the Spartans. Michigan State take it in 2.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, you feel, at that point. Morvu able to connect there with that pass infield, getting themselves a hat trick in this game number 2. And Iowa State did well to force an OT there, but dropping this game number 2 is very devastating. But especially considering the caliber of opposition that you're against if you are Iowa State. Michigan State sitting at 3 match points here, nation. Maybe they don't get in game number 3, but I don't. It's hard to see a vision where Iowa State can fight and claw themselves back into this one. I'm not putting it out of the question because we've seen glimpses, but what we're looking for more than anything in this game number 3 is Crazy and Midas stepping up to the plate, helping out Vanish, because Vanish far and away has been their superstar player, but they need support.
That they do. Now at this point in the series, you have to be perfect. If you're Iowa State, and again, the lone scorer is Vanish. Can we talk time and time again? It can't just be Vanish. He needs help if they're going to pull off a reverse sweep. But Michigan State have proven that they are back here after last night's woes. But you know, it's number 2 in the country in CCS, and they're no winner. Again, for Iowa State, they got to be on their game, and it's 1-0 up bomb finds the Spartans in front.
It's a good-looking goal at that. Well-orchestrated team play. Knock just lofts that ball in the midfield, turns off his ball cam, and drives straight forward into the only Iowa State defender who has a chance at saving that one with the demolition. It's a wide-open net to look at. So Michigan State proving they can beat you in any which way. A cacophony of demos will open up our second kickoff of this game number 3, and it's Michigan State yet again in charge, dictating the pace of play, controlling the possession, and looking for a quick second go-ahead goal.
Is the Orbital going to eye a double here? Will not turn that one home either. That's something you got to have if you're Iowa State. When you get looks like that, you got to be perfect. Minus. Towards the left wall, Pants on target, won't go. Rebound is there, but too late as Michigan State will hold the line, and the Spartans now start the transition.
I do like the vision, but it didn't amount to a goal. It did try the defense. Vanish booming clear, gets a flip reset to push it just that ever bit forward. And Iowa State, oh, crazy. We were hoping for more. That's a start. It's off the crossbar and back out. Fourth man coming up huge for Michigan State, but it's been Iowa State. They've had to fight tooth and nail for every single inch that they're progressing this ball on the pitch, but it may all be for naught. Morvu hard off the back wall, forces two. Vanish flopping around like a fish out of water with zero boost. They're hanging on by a thread right now, but Up Bomb looking to put them away and reset them back to kickoff.
Build a must-see there for Vanish. Minus towards the opposite corner, trying to get a shot off, but Morvu will cover that one up in time for the Spartan defense. 2 minutes off the clock and a huge shot there. Vanish will hold the line for the Cyclones. There is Michigan State just continue to put pressure on Iowa State here.
Yeah, the Spartans absolutely devastating right now, just cycling this ball in the corner, and their third man rotation always grabbing the midfield boost, always waiting on the sidewall to collect before anything else happens. Vanish chipping it forward. Crazy. Zero boost, just was an optimistic jump of that ball, and for the first time it feels like this game there's a brief pause in play, but not for long. Up Bomb gonna give way to the double tap to make room for Morvu, and it's the selfish play that awards Michigan State their second goal.
2:23 to go, and Michigan State now up by as much as 2, and they're on their way to a victory lap of a 3-0 clean sweep of number 9 Iowa State.
In dominating fashion as well. The only time where this series has felt even is in that opening game, off the initial kickoff. I understand game 2 went to OT, and I'm gonna give Iowa State their flowers for that. But if you look at the field domination stats, if you look at the possession stats from either one of these rosters, I don't think it's gonna be close. Michigan State has just been able to exert their will whenever they would like onto the Cyclones here, and it's the Iowa State looks worse for wear as a result. You see a couple of clears here from Michigan State, just long lofted balls. They're happy to bleed out the clock because that is their ticket to a victory in sweeping fashion.
Iowa State's got 90 seconds to strike twice and at least get this thing to overtime. They're going to want a chance later on to eventually win this if they can score twice in 80 seconds now, but can Vanish still the lone score for Iowa State, so this offense has to come alive at a highly efficient level the last stretch of game 3.
Well, they found the right man with that pass. It was Vanish up and climbing the ladders for the ceiling, trying to bump off Up Bomb, but Up Bomb beats 2. Only one more Midas. Very crucial touch to buy some time for his teammates to get the rotation and come through, and they'll do just that as Crazy now taking over. Morvu tossed forward for Up Bomb. This one played onto the corner. It's a good win. It'll squirt out all the way across the length of the pitch and end up in the corner, but this ball just racing on skates all across the field only bodes well for Michigan State, as they're the ones happy to tick away the clock. Father Time not on Iowa State's side. You mentioned they had 90 seconds a minute ago. They only have 30, and they still need 2 now, Nation.
I'm just trying to get a dunk there. The finish is there for Crazy. It's denied. Morvu going to block that one away. 20 seconds. And after that shot's broken up, I think it's safe to say this is the ball game.
Yeah, even with that opportunity, it's the best look they've had, denied, and it's not just your scoring chances, it's your mental that's shot too. Maybe one last ditch effort. Vanish can't get it in, so it's just a formality at this point. Once this ball drops, it will be Michigan State winning in sweeping fashion over the top of Iowa State. It was a close game one, but Michigan State found their stride, able to get 3 unanswered, which only leaked into game number 2. That OT was the closest it got. Michigan State showing why they came into everything at the second spot for the rankings. And despite the loss to Drexel, they might be earning some of that back here.
Yeah, I mean, again, Michigan State, they go 1-1 week 1, which isn't the worst. Probably not what they were wanting after last night's drop to Drexel. But again, Drexel made the title game last season, so that's nothing to laugh at it for Michigan State. You're 1-1, you get a quality win over Iowa State, so nothing to be upset with, but we'll move along. And Iowa State will look ahead to the CCS Invitational next week in their last 3 remaining non-conference games. It's been me and Quads. I got the call tonight. We'll see you guys after the break for Arizona versus Maryland.